All right. Good afternoon and welcome to MyS Focus Activity 6 to 7 Music. I'm Terry.
Yay.
I'm from the MyS Via Baracca School here in Florence. And I am coming to you today with my wonderful co-host, Paul.
Thanks. Love the adjective and all. Hi guys, I'm from Ireland, and me and Terry have I'd say done about a million webinars by now. We're like professionals. I hope. And I work with Terry in Via Baracca. We often get the bus together home, and we've often talked about having a wine together, but obviously that will have to wait until a while. But hopefully we can have a wine in August. I'd love that. It'd be
Oh
lovely.
my God, in August. I'm hoping more like June. God. So Paul is from Ireland and I am from Seattle in the United States. And I see that we have some people with us. So please tell us your name and where you're from. Maria Pia from Milano, welcome. So I'm from Seattle, and Seattle has a long history as a hub of music in the United States. Most people, when they hear I'm from Seattle, they say, "Oh, Kurt Cobain, Nirvana, grunge, Pearl Jam." So I grew up. I love music. One of my sons is a drummer.
Oh,
The other is a pianist. And so welcome, Luca from Novara. Welcome, Riccardo from Rome. Nice to see you again. Okay. So, Paul, what kind of music do you particularly like?
Nina Simone.
What?
Nina Simone, jazz,
Ah,
1950s. I'm obsessed with the. Also, other singers would be Ella Fitzgerald. I think she's
oh,
outstanding. Frank Sinatra, swing. I'm into the 50s, 1950s, 60s, and post World War II music. I adore that kind of music. Especially when I'm cleaning my flat, I just put on my little Bluetooth speaker and I just play the music. Or sometimes when I'm doing exercise, even I like, because it reminds me of especially Ella Fitzgerald. I feel like every song there's a story to it, and she's such a beautiful voice.
that's
Um,
true. I love Nina Simone's version of Baby It's Cold Outside.
oh,
That just I die. Katerina, welcome. You were with us yesterday too. Also Ricardo. So good to see everybody. I'll see.
absolutely.
Good to read everybody. So what
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I've been to Livorno actually, Katerina. You guys have amazing burgers. I had street food there back in February. Feels like such a long time ago. And
It does.
I stayed in the countryside as well. I must say I think we might have talked about this already, but I loved Livorno. So it's a really, really small, beautiful seaside town. Um,
All
hmm.
right.
Novara, where is
So
Novara?
I don't know. Where is Novara, Luca? So tell us some of your favorite genres of music. So today we will be talking about music, songs, artists, and types of music. So types is genres of music also. And how does music make you feel? So we'll get to that, Paul, especially with the Nina Simone and Ella Fitzgerald. That kind of music just really, it reaches inside and it makes me really feel the music.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So tell us, everyone, question one. What is your favorite type of music? In Piedmonte. Okay. I spent a week at Christmas 5 years ago in Alba in Piedmonte. Beautiful
Mm.
region. Beautiful. All right. So, Paul, your favorite music, you said ballads, swing,
Mm.
jazz. What do you mean? A big fan of ballads. What is a ballad?
Ballad is kind of like a belter. Like if you associate singers like Whitney Houston, for example, would be one. Celine, I suppose I'm not into Celine Dion, but I just have this obsession with the 1950s, 1960s, even 1970s as well. Influence. I don't know why. I just when I was younger, I always even there's another song that I love. Tina Turner, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" Just that type of genre. It's just America's blessed. I think it's the best country. Sorry for music. I have to say.
I
One of them.
think, yeah, I think America has been really, really inspirational. In America, usually we don't really create or invent anything. What we do is we
Mm,
take things from other places and we alter it in some way
mm,
and then claim it as our own. But I think music is something very different. I do think that that a lot of new genres of music have actually been created by American artists. I mean, if you think about someone like Elvis
mm,
Presley, the king of rock and roll, but he actually grew up singing gospel and rhythm and blues. And he
mm.
combined these different types and made something completely new.
His song "I Can't Help Falling in Love" is a classic. It's just so
Oh,
smooth.
beautiful, isn't it? So,
Hmm.
Daniele, from Italy, where are you from, Daniele? Where are you from in Italy?
Terry, you have a direct question from Luca. Alba is wonderful, but he says, "Did you eat tartufo?" I don't know in English. I don't know what that
And
is.
and I responded, I know Alba
Oh,
is
sorry.
beautiful. And we had white truffle pasta. Tartufo is truffle. Yeah.
You have an amazing. You could probably write a book, Terry, on actually your experiences in Italy. No, like about your culture, different regions. No.
I have been really, really fortunate to meet the people I have met because my very dear friend Betta, she took me to Alba, to Genova, and to her home in the countryside in this place called, oh my God, I forgot. Anyway, it will come to me. Way out in the countryside, and then my other friend Anna, she took me down to Marta, which is on a lake, and then we went to Puglia together. So I have been able to see some amazing places and have some experiences that I don't think many people have been able to have, and it's been really special. So I don't know that I'd write a book because I don't know. I don't know that I could convey exactly how wonderful it's been. But Luca, my favorite type of music is hip hop and R&B. And when I was
Mm.
younger, I really liked punk rock. Who were your favorite punk rock bands, Luca?
And R&B singers. I mean, R&B is classic. You've got you've got who do you have? Nelly. You've got Kelly Rowland. You've got Rihanna. Like all the songs going back ages ago. Wow, this brings back like my teenage years. Watching MTV. MTV was massive. Actually.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Mm,
So, Ricardo, my favorite type of music is pop music and
mm,
also ballads. We wouldn't say ballad music, just ballads.
mm.
So, who is your favorite? Who are your favorite pop music artists or bands? Katerina says, I've played the piano since I was a child. I started with classical music, but now I prefer blues and jazz music. I like rock music too. One of my favorite singers is Bob Dylan. Oh, Bob Dylan's fabulous. Do you like Bob Dylan, Paul?
I must confess and say I've rarely listened to his songs. Perhaps I should. So
If you really like the 50s and 60s, and if you like Bob Dylan's,
hmm.
I think you'd really like him.
Would you be familiar to Louis Armstrong as well?
Oh, I love Louis Armstrong. The trumpet, just
Hmm.
but spectacular, spectacular. When in New Orleans, there are people who just sit outside in the different parks and with their trumpet, and they do their best to imitate Louis Armstrong. No one is there's just no one like him. But
Hmm.
to hear to hear those songs in a setting like that, I can just imagine him having done the same thing in his
Can I say
earlier
that
days.
quarantine kind of makes you nostalgic? And I think I've turned to this kind of music when I needed it. You know, Nina Simone. I want to share a song that's really personal. It's called "Trouble." Um, Trouble on my mind. It speaks about, you know, a negative situation, and one of the key lyrics is the sun. It's written badly, but the correct form in English: the sun is going to shine on my back garden one day. And when I hear that lyric, it really strikes. It gets to me. Actually, it makes me a bit emotional because it's so true. You know, it speaks about it's just such a wonderful lyric. It's like it really gets to me, you know.
Beautiful. So, speaking of lyrics, where is it? Ricardo says, I don't so much like, I don't like so much lyric music. Now, lyric, do you mean lyrics like testa? Do you mean lyrics as in music with words? After
Or
a few
rap,
minutes,
or rap, maybe. No.
I don't know. I'm
Mm,
wondering, what do you mean lyric music, Ricardo? So I don't like this music very much. After a few minutes, it becomes boring. Remember that you've got your separate clause, you've got your subordinate clause, which
mm.
requires the new subject, it. It becomes boring. And Angela, don't worry about being late. Sorry for being late. We need a verb, but don't worry about it. We're just happy you are here.
And Daniela says, I'm trying to improve my English. He said he's from Palermo. I recommend you to go to Barcoletti. That is my favorite place for aperitivo. And also, they put on music from the 1950s. It was in Palermo where I actually discovered my taste for 1950s music, because my flatmate would put on this playlist and on Spotify, and she just played all this music, and I was listening to it, and I'm like, wow, it's quite nice. So it was Palermo. I hold dear memories. Okay.
It's like opera. Lyric music is like opera. I love opera. But this brings us to question two. Is there any music you can't stand? And why don't you like it? So if I
Reggaeton.
if I can, Paul, this is kind of interesting because just this weekend, I love every kind of music. It's really difficult to find a genre of music that I don't like. But rap that is truly vulgar,
Mm,
I just, if there are lyrics, and I love, because the lyrics, as you were saying earlier, that song "Trouble on My
mm,
Mind," the lyrics can take you to a different level in your thought or make you feel something.
mm.
But rap that is vulgar just to be vulgar, I can't stand it.
Agreed.
So, is there any music you can't stand, and why don't you like it?
Reggaeton.
What is that?
Reggaeton is a type of music that is particularly popular in Latino countries or in Spain, where the beat of the music is always the same, like, and it's a mix of rap and kind of like, you know, women are so-called sluts and men can do what they want, or vice versa.
Ah,
It's pretty abysmal music, but you know, it's pretty popular music when you go to like I think I'm rare. I think I'm one of those people that people see me as like, oh, 27, like, oh, let's go to like the disco, and I can't. I just because I can't stand the music. I'm just one of
I,
those people. I avoid it. Um, but reggaeton is like in Spain. If you check out like Spotify, the top 50, or if you like all the reggaeton is like number one, and it's just I don't understand why.
I don't know. Katerina says, I can't stand electronic music because it's too artificial and too heavy. Excellent. Okay. Angela, well done. I played piano many years ago, and now in the quarantine, I am starting again.
Hmm.
Excellent. I think it's great. Remember the I always capital. Okay. Do you want to read for Luca?
Yeah, I can't stand metal rock because it's too heavy and they usually scream when they sing. I agree. I would just, is it called heavy metal though? As a correct.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I can't stand heavy metal. Okay, so Luca, great comment, but we need heavy heavy metal. I agree. I'm not a fan. Um,
I'm not a fan either, except some heavy metal bands once in a blue moon will throw out a ballad.
mm,
And it's usually the ballad that makes me go, okay, they're actually talented. But yeah, the heavy metal, blah.
my favorite rock groups would be actually Bon Jovi and Aerosmith. I think they have lovely, nice rock, soothing voices, but again, they're more what kind of rock? Is that soft rock? Is that I think
That would be soft rock, I would say.
I like
I
soft.
would know it's Aerosmith. Aerosmith's just straight up rock.
Mm, he's a phenomenal voice.
Yes, he does. He does. So, Angela, I like Italian songwriters, maybe?
Mm.
Songwriters. Okay. And how about, so question 3, we have some answers already. Katerina says, I've played the piano for years. At the same time, my older sister played guitar. And so we did some funny and little concerts. Funny. I think
Mm.
you mean fun, because funny is something that makes you laugh. Fun is
Mm.
something you enjoy. In our living room, where our family simulated the audience. Really? That sounds like a lot of fun, actually. All right. And okay. And Luca responded, in the past, I really liked Blink 182, Green Day, Simple Plan, and Avril Lavigne. Very good. I was just about to say that. Excellent, Paul.
They're ahead of you.
Have you
Avril
ever played
Lavigne is
it?
a classic.
She is. She is. Have you ever played an instrument, Paul?
Unfortunately, no. Well, the recorder, but I don't think that counts because it's like an annoying flute that you just hear. My family actually bought us a piano, and their intentions were for us to learn how to play when I was younger, but unfortunately, I had no interest. So I should have. I'd like to learn how to play the guitar because I think that would be something nice. And you, Terry, tell me about you.
I grew up playing the organ, which
Mm.
is like an electric piano, but it's got 2 levels of keys. And I was actually forced for a year to take lessons, and I
Oh,
absolutely hated it. But I've always been a singer
really?
since junior high school. I was in every concert choir, jazz choir. Yeah, but
What
now I
type of
just
music?
everything. I particularly like jazz. One of my
Oh,
favorites was Manhattan Transfer.
If I had
If
known you
you,
would have sung, I would have asked you to like perform or something. I love people who can sing, but would it be embarrassing for you though, or like in front of a
I,
crowd, or
yep, I don't do it anymore. I do it at home when I'm cleaning, when I'm cooking, or when I'm in the shower. But outside my home, you will rarely hear me sing. If I
why?
sing out, if I sing outside, it's probably because I'm just I'm really happy about something and I'm not paying attention. If I'm daydreaming, I'll start singing. So
Oh,
no,
that's a shame.
but
I think you
karaoke,
should.
never, 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 never.
Well, that's unfortunate. I don't mind. Like I like singing when there's like well, one thing that I have forgotten to mention is Ireland has a lot of famous music as well. People are, especially with the War of Independence, people love the famous group called the Dubliners. There's also a famous song. It's associated with whiskey. I can't remember the name, but there are many, many Irish. A lot of my Italian friends in Florence are obsessed with Irish music and Irish bands and traditions.
Now, Mumford and Sons, are they from Ireland?
I don't know actually.
I love Mumford and Son. Mumford and Sons.
But Terry, would you be familiar with the Irish music in terms of like it's famous when you go into a pub, for example, and you hear like the flute and the fiddle and the
And the songs like Galloway Girl
yeah,
and
Galway Girl and
oh, it's my dream to one day go spend a week in Ireland and just sit in a different pub every night and drink Guinness and listen to music.
I think you should go to Galway. I think Galway would be your city.
Yeah, I think I have to go. I will
Mm.
make a point of going. In fact, one thing that I've always had these dreams to see there are some really specific places like Athens, like a couple of places in Ireland. And I think now, having been in the quarantine, I think I will make it more of a point to go to some of these places.
Me too. I've got a
So,
lot of things to do as well. We'll
oh
see.
yeah. So speaking of live music, and you've told us a lot of your favorite groups, your favorite artists, favorite bands. Have you ever seen him, her, or them, if it's a group, in concert?
Mm.
So I know a lot of the artists you've talked about, Paul, you can't have seen in concert
No.
because unfortunately they don't perform anymore. But what are some groups or performers that you have seen in concert?
This sounds crazy to you. I have a phobia of big crowded places. I often avoid them. So I've only ever been to one concert, but I was lucky enough to win VIP tickets, so I had enough space. And it was a singer called Jessie Ware. Maybe she's not really well known, but she's a really, really good singer. And so I went. It was an MTV concert that came to Ireland, and so we were in the background, and we enjoyed it. It was really nice. But the singer is not really well known, but I'll just write her name just in case. It's called Jessie Ware. And you, Terry?
I used to go to concerts all the time. I grew up with Seattle. I grew up going to concerts. Unfortunately, after I was in Iraq for that year I was in the army, so I was in Iraq for a year. And after I returned, just to be in crowded places makes me really anxious. So I've stopped going. But gosh, I've seen everything from the 80s. I saw Madonna's Like a Virgin tour, Prince Purple Rain
Wow.
tour.
Oh,
Um, I saw I've seen bands like Journey, Nine Inch Nails. I've The list is long, but my favorite band to see in concert is Nine Inch Nails. Their music is just powerful. You just feel it.
all right. I think I'm more familiar to these singers at the moment. Okay, so I like Rihanna Akon. Oh, Akon is classic, without a doubt. Dua Lipa, I will admit and say that she's got a very unique voice. Unfortunately, I've never seen them in concert, but I saw a Black Eyed Peas concert when I was younger.
I love Black
The
Eyed
Black
Peas.
Eyed, I think they make good music, but live is another question. But they do make good music.
Okay. And Angela says, one of my favorite artists is Fabrizio De André. I saw him in 2 concerts, in Genoa and in Milan. He was a singer of his songs. What do you mean, Angela? He was a singer of his songs. Aren't most singers of their songs? There's something that I'm missing here.
Maybe he wrote his own songs, because some people have their. So maybe I think, Angela, you could refer to as he or sh. Oh, it's he. He wrote his own music. He wrote his own music, and just be careful with the mistake of one of plus. It's always a one of plus plural. So one of
Yes.
my favorite artists. One of plus plural. One of my favorite artists with the S.
Excellent. Ricardo says, last October, I saw a concert of Negramaro. They are an Italian band. Okay, good. All right. Sorry. Okay. So, did I go to the right? Okay, sorry. So now, what is your favorite song? Boy, favorite song. It's difficult enough to decide on a favorite band or a favorite artist. I might be able to give you like my top 5, but a favorite song. Do you have one, Paul?
Yes, Nina Simone. I wish I knew what I knew. What's it called? My baby just cares for me, and I wish I knew how. What's it called? Nina Simone. I wish I could be free. It's I'm gonna find the song on my Spotify. I wish.
Okay. I don't know that one particularly. I might know it if I heard it though.
It's Nina Simone. I wish I knew I would be free. It's a really beautiful song. I'm gonna write it.
Can you play us a short clip of it, like 30 seconds of it?
Yeah, but I don't know if people can hear very well.
If you put it next to your microphone, maybe.
Microphone. Okay. Can you hear it?
No, put it, Paul, next to your microphone.
Ah, okay.
Takes the time.
I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the
Oh, that's
So you might be familiar.
beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, so tell us your favorite song. What is it about the song that makes it your favorite? So why do you like that song so much, Paul?
Because it talks about the joys of just being free. Because the song is called I Wish I Knew. I know it sounds a bit daft saying this, but I wish I knew how it would feel to be free.
Okay. Now, Luca, that's a tough one because I love every song, singular, every song of my favorite artist. I know this is This is one of the most difficult questions ever. So give us maybe top 3 favorite songs. And that's hard too, I know. Top 3 favorite songs. My favorite song is The Fisherman. So, Angela, who sings the song The Fisherman, and why do you like it so much? How does that song make you feel? Ricardo, thanks for being with us. Have a lovely day.
Thanks, Ricardo. Have a great day. I could also share another artist. I don't know if you're familiar to her, Terry. I have an obsession with these smaller artists. She sang this song called Fast Car, Tracy Chapman.
I love Tracy Chapman. Love Tracy Chapman.
She is outstanding. People don't know if she's a boy or a girl because her voice is kind of so unique. But she has a song called Fast Car. That is another one that is a classic as well.
It is. It's fabulous. I also like a fairly unknown artist. Her name is Malik. And if you're not familiar with her music, every song is a story. Every song is a story, and it's really easy to listen to. It's easy to get lost in. And I think that's what I love about her music. It's very light music, and that lets you not only feel the music, but listen to the story. And I get lost in her stories, which is one of the reasons I love her music so much. So tell us, pick one of your favorite songs. Tell us how it makes you feel and what it makes you want to do. So, for example, that song you talked about, Paul, Tracy Chapman's Fast Car. Because in America, we drive everywhere. Here, I don't drive. In America, we drive everywhere. We don't walk anywhere. And that song, Fast Car, was one of those songs that entire album, and I can't remember the name of the album. I would put it on if I was going for a drive somewhere. So it made me feel relaxed, and it made me just want to go get lost on a road.
Yes, I think because the song speaks about immigration as well, and it just kind of gives you that feeling of traveling, certainly.
Absolutely. So Luca says, it depends on my mood, but generally music makes me feel happy because I can't live without it. Not only is that an excellent structure, Luca, but that is an excellent thought. I agree completely.
Would you be familiar, Terry, there's an Irish group band called the Cranberries. They're very, very famous. Zombie is the most famous song probably to come out of Ireland, I think. One of the ones. Zombie is unbelievable. In Italy, they've got a big obsession with the Cranberries, actually. They're very, very popular.
I didn't know they were popular here, but I do know the Cranberries, and I absolutely adore them. Is Florence and the Machine, are they from Ireland?
She's actually from the UK. Another country that has outstanding musicians. Probably one of the best as well.
I love her voice and I love their music. Okay, Angela, the song is by DeAndre. It was written about 1968. It makes me feel it is exciting. It makes me feel excited. Exactly. Remember that with these adjectives, the feeling ends in ed, but the thing to describe the thing, it ends in ing. So as a rhyme.
Yes, if it's like internal and you're talking about how I feel, like at the moment, I feel excited, but music object is exciting. as Terry was saying.
Exactly. But you can remember this little rhyme. The thing goes with ing.
Goes with thing. Indeed, the thing
How
goes with
you
thing.
how you feel
Nice.
ends with ed, but the thing goes with ing. All right. So are there in America, and I have a question for you, Paul. You're welcome, Angela. So in America, we have this type of music that it's usually, I would define it as not heavy metal, but I would define it as really hard rock. And it's usually men singing in a really forceful way, like 3 Days Grace and Hinder and Chevelle. And they're singing about women who've done them wrong. We call it angry white guy music because usually when people listen to it, they start to actually feel angry. Can you think of any music that makes you feel angry, Paul?
I would rather avoid that type of music that makes me feel angry. So again, that would probably correspond to rap as well. Like, I mean, Eminem, I will admit and say that I do like some of his songs, but like some of his songs are also vulgar, and the type of language that he uses as well. It's very homophobic. It's not nice, you know? So,
Yeah.
unfortunately though, the kind of golden generation of rap was actually when I was a teenager, and I was heavily influenced by it. Artists like 50 Cent, The Game, Eminem, were all, using such horrible language in their music. And we grew up with that thinking that it was cool.
But it's not.
Although I would say one artist that I am a fan of is Tupac. I really do think he does make some good music. His song Changes is amazing because it does reflect a bit of American society. I don't know if you've heard about that song.
I have, and I'm just wondering, isn't Tupac the one who also did the song Dear Mama?
I'm not sure.
Fabulous song.
But he wrote a song when he was in prison, and he was talking about like the first Black American president. He also made reference to, African Americans making, money and, buying drugs from kids. And the song has a lot of meaning in Changes. So Tupac Changes is another, I suppose, one of the better rappers.
And Lucas says, maybe one of my favorite songs, remember, one of requires plural. One of my favorite songs is See You Again by Charlie Puth and Wiz Khalifa.
I know it.
It's it's on the Fast and Furious soundtrack. They played this song to remember Paul Walker.
Nice.
Ah, yes, I love that song. In fact, I'm hearing it in my mind right now. I love that song. Thank you for that, Luca. That song makes me remember my best friend, Tony. And God, wow, that was a powerful sensation. When I heard the song in my mind, it was like, because he died very young. My best friend, Tony, died very young also. And that song, when it came out, was right around when he died. Sorry. And for me, it's just like, oh my God. It's one of those that just reaches right in and grabs your heart. Now, Angela, why does disco make you feel annoyed? Ti dà fastidio?
Depends, though. The 1980s disco is amazing. Michael Jackson, James Brown, their type of music. The Bee Gees, I think, are fantastic.
70s.
Oh, sorry, the 70s, excuse me.
Yeah, definitely the 70s era. I was a very, very, very little girl, and I remember when disco started to come out, and my mom was just playing it on the record player, a vinyl disc, all the time. I remember that. Oh my God. Why does
music
it
is unfortunately lacking?
It's what?
I think music if you compare it from now to the past, you cannot compare it. The past was miles better.
Well, what we've got now is we've got offshoots of different music that was new before, I think. All right. So, now let's continue. Let's talk about not so much music, but let's look at this picture. What do you see in the picture? How does it make you feel? And what does it make you want to do? So, Paul, have you ever been in a traffic jam like this one?
So many times. In Brazil, I have specific memories of being in Brazil, and I remember when I just wanted to go to like the nearest supermarket, I would spend about an hour and a half in the bus just to get there and come back. In Brazil, commuting is crazy.
Wow.
And you?
In America, this is normal. Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco, this is the normal. The last time I was in a traffic jam like this, though, was just outside of Naples at Christmas. So tell us this picture. Oh, Luca, excellent. It makes me feel anxious and frustrated, and it makes me want to get out of my car, and go on foot. Absolutely fabulous, Luca. Yeah, I don't miss traffic jams at all. All right. I love this picture. How does it make you feel, and what does it make you want to do, Paul?
Well, I had that sensation when I moved to my flat a week ago. And the first thing I did was I sat down on my chair, put my phone on flight mode, and I just watched a bird and listened to the bird singing because I had not been outside for about 5 weeks, and it drove me mad. So I know exactly the feeling.
And how does it make you feel then? What is this feeling?
Appreciation. It makes me appreciate nature. It makes me feel more positive, more mentally sane, I would say.
And what does it make you want to do, this picture?
It makes me want to go for a run in the park and then sweat and then just, I don't know, explore Florence, the city itself.
It makes me feel happy. This picture, it makes me feel happy, and it makes me want to go sit in the park with a book.
Me too.
Luca, it makes me feel happy, and it makes me want to go back in time. Oh, it reminds me of my childhood. That is absolutely perfect structure, Luca. It makes me feel happy. Me too, Angela. Excellent. Capitals and everything. All right.
Some nice participation today from Angela and Luca.
Excellent. All right. Ooh. So, how does it make you feel, and what does it make you want to do?
Well, I always associate Christmas every year with my family in Ireland. It's such a beautiful country, Ireland, especially in Cork where I live, because, as I said, what's that phrase? There's an idiomatic phrase. Less is more. Less is more. And in Ireland, in Cork, for example, we have the perfect balance of Christmas lights. Not too much, but just that kind of right balance. And it sometimes snows now because of global warming. Before it didn't snow, but now it does snow in Ireland every now and then. And this reminds me of Christmas when I was younger, and the amount of effort my parents made to... I think I was only 11 or 12 when I discovered Santa Claus, sorry for spoilers, wasn't real. It was a wonderful childhood, you know? So it makes me want to return. It makes me want to go back to Ireland for Christmas. And you?
Well, before moving to Italy, I used to ski a lot, and this reminds me of a place just outside of Salt Lake in Utah, and it it makes me feel calm. And it makes me want to go sit by a fire with a hot cocoa.
Yes.
Yes. All right, let's do another one. Luca, Angela, anyone else? Participate. Tell us this picture. How does it make you feel, and what does it make you want to do? Oh, sorry, Luca, I went ahead too quickly. It makes me feel breathless. Wonderful adjective. It makes me feel breathless because it's a beautiful place and it makes me want to go there right now. I love the mountain landscape. Singular mountain landscape, because in this case, I love the mountains, great. But if you're talking about the landscape, your adjective is going to be singular, mountain landscape. But wonderful, wonderful, Luca. Angela, it makes me want to walk in the woods. Absolutely. Ah, beautiful. Now, what about this one? Oh, I'm already lost.
I'm not so blown away by this one. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm so used to it in Ireland, but I don't know. It's not that nice.
No, but I think maybe just having been inside for 2 months, this makes me feel it makes me feel peaceful. It makes me want to go be there in solitude, surrounded by nature, just.
Are you going to maybe go to a park next week, Terry?
I don't know because I think everyone else will, and I don't have a good immune system. So I think that I will be really cautious at least until the 1st of June and see what happens to other people. See if the virus cases increase as well. I want to see what happens.
Okay. Maybe might you go for a walk and not go to necessarily the park, but like in and around it, and then maybe
Good.
need-
No, yes.
please.
Please. So Luca says, it makes me feel free and it makes me want to daydream all day long. Yeah, me too. Yeah. I'm already there. I'm on the dock, surrounded with my feet over the dock in the water. I'm here already. But yeah, I know you have your garden, so you have a little greenery. This to me is.
I'm sorry. I don't want to gloat, but it's just made like a big difference to my mental health. Even when I look outside the window, I have there's a tree right next to me, and it's flowers, and my neighbors have done such a beautiful job because my neighbors are they've all put like roses on their balconies, and you just open the window and you're like, wow.
So I miss that. I don't have any of that. I'm looking at buildings. But Angela says, it makes me feel a little melancholy. And I wanted to stop. I wanted to end on this picture, because the next one makes me really sad and angry. But why melancholy, Angela? Why does it make you feel melancholy?
It could be maybe personal, often
Could
maybe
be.
people go to a lake if they want to remember someone. So maybe it could be that. If it's too peaceful or if it's too personal, you don't have to share. Don't worry.
Absolutely not. But interesting.
Nice. Maybe she could be blue because of the quarantine or something, and maybe she lives near a lake. I mean, if you're from the south of Italy, especially, you're just going to be surrounded by the coast all the time. So,
I would love to be at a beach, any beach right now, at all.
We all would.
All right. So, for the last minute or so here, what is the first thing you're going to do when the quarantine ends? What are you most looking forward to?
For me, it's just having that individual freedom again from next week. I know we're in quarantine, but it's going to make a massive difference just to go for a run and just be by myself and I think it's the first time I can go to a bar or restaurant and just have a aperitif, maybe with one friend.
The bars and restaurants are not going to open until June 1st.
That's what I mean, in June. Like,
In June. I thought you were talking about next week.
no.
Okay.
And you?
For the foggy air. Now I understand. There was a mist on the lake. You're absolutely right, Angela. No, I'm really looking forward to getting out to go for a walk.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that's even just here in the center. So, all right, that's our time for today. And I really want to thank you for such amazing participation. And as always, Paul, it's a pleasure to get to know you better.
You too, Terry. See you soon. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks. See you soon.
And bye.